Welcome back. One of the biggest corporate scandals of this year now looks like it will stretch well into 2016. Volkswagen has now hired a high-profile attorney who's also been involved in the BP oil spill and Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. With us now is the car coach, Lauren Fix. We're also going to talk about California proposing a driverless car ban and one company hoping online car buying becomes a norm. Lauren, it's great to see you.
Great to see you as well.
All right, let's talk about Mr. Kenneth Feinberg. As we mentioned, he's always around, I guess, when somebody needs to get some money back from a big-time corporate scandal. What do you think he will be able to do for the folks, the millions of them that have been affected by this Volkswagen emission scandal?
Well, most likely he'll do the same thing he did with the GM and the ignition switch. Get some money from the manufacturer. That'll be his first suggestion. Let me put this in a bond fund, some sort of fund that we can retain for the owners of these vehicles who do have legitimate claims. Now, we don't know if these claims are going to be legitimate. We still don't know how many people are actually going to be in the claim. And these class action lawsuits, you know, as individuals, you're not going to end up with too much money in the end. This is not an ignition switch situation where 124 people died. This is going to be probably small amounts of money going to many, many, many people that are involved in this class action lawsuit. So I think he's going to definitely be the one to control the money and make sure that consumers who do actually deserve it get it. So it does make a statement that they want to make things right. Hey, GM did it. Look where they are now.
That's right. And that seems to be clearing up. Maybe the Volkswagen one will do the same thing as well. Let's also talk about California. They want to propose a driverless car ban. I got to admit, I'm kind of bummed because I fantasize about the idea of kicking back in my car, cracking open a paper. I guess if we're going down the future, it'd probably be my smartphone or a tablet.
You need an Uber. You need an Uber or a car service. Because the fact is, the reason we have automobiles is you can drive when you want, where you want. How many times have you plugged in a GPS destination? One that you know where to go, and it takes you the worst possible way because it goes from point A to point B as the shortest distance, but not necessarily the smartest choice. Happens to me all the time, especially when I'm driving that Buffalo to New York route. It has me going the craziest route, which would take me 2 hours longer because of traffic. So that's one of the one things I don't like about autonomous cars. The other thing is if you don't want to drive, like I said, get a car service, a cab, an Uber, or whatever. But one thing I will tell you is the fact they're putting limitations on people, other manufacturers such as Audi and Ford and Google, who are producing these autonomous cars for testing now. The moment they take away the fact that you have to pay attention and you can't just not even be in the driver's seat, that's why manufacturers are now setting up shop in Austin, Texas. Very smart of Texas to take advantage of this opportunity because California is going to lose the autonomous car business even though they have Silicon Valley.
Yeah, Texas is one of those places people do like to do business because of the freedom. All right, one more topic we want to talk about too. Yes. Buying cars online. My dad sold a car online to a buyer sight unseen about 5 years ago, and I thought this guy was nuts. But this is going to be something that happens as well.
Well, that's true. It's happening now. I bought my last vehicle online. What I did do and was highly suggest is don't pay retail. So I went to my local dealer. He didn't want a bargain. I shopped all over the country. I found a car in Virginia. I picked it up and drove it back. I had never driven the car. I'd never met the sales guy before. I'd never been to the dealership. That's very common. And so new car dealers are selling vehicles online, but also at the same time, they're going to places like eBay Motors and Autotrader.com, and they're using some of the other services that are out there because the future is dealers will always be there. They're not going away. But if you can save money and you can buy it online, especially a collector car, and I'm huge into collector cars, you definitely end up buying those sight unseen. And if you're really unsure, there are services that will go evaluate the car, give you a full report. And I recommend that if you're going to buy a Ferrari, a Bentley, or anything of some significant value or collectability, you want to make sure it's what you're getting.
Yeah, I guess a used car I can see it. I mean, a new car I can see it. Used cars, not so much. But you know, there's
depends on the vehicle, what you're buying, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to touch it. I guess I just want to, you know, maybe experience it. Yeah.
Well, number one rule is always test drive a vehicle before you buy it, because the worst thing you can have, especially in a leased vehicle, is buyer's remorse.
Of course.
You can't return it. You can't return it. It's yours. Buyer beware. And that's true with anything around this Christmas holiday season.
That's right. Caveat emptor, as they say. Yes. I don't really speak Latin, but I can pretend like I do on TV.
I took Latin, but it was a dead language, dead as can be. It killed the Romans. Now it's killing me.
Lauren Fix, thanks so much for being with us. Always great to talk to you. When we come back, watching LeBron James courtside, not as safe as it once was. We're also going to talk about the pro golfer who got hurt in Sports Illustrated's Person of the Year.